on the creation of connections or overlaps between the individuals. There are these kinds of elements which plays crucial role on making our sense of relation to others and groups. So these are some of the elements that makes any community into being. So if you look at the world, whole world, you can see different kind of civilizations like Western civilization, Orthodox civilization, Islamic civilization. So these civilizations are actually spread across different parts of the world, and under those civilizations there are different varieties of communities and religions and families and individuals. These are the microcosms of the macro concept of civilizations. So as Samuel Huntington, one of the greatest political philosophers in the modern century, he has said that civilizations have no clear-cut boundaries and no precise beginnings and endings. People can and do redefine their identities, and as a result, the composition of shapes of civilization change over time. The cultures of people interact and overlap. The extent to which the cultures of civilization resemble or differ from each other also varies considerably. Civilizations are nonetheless meaningful entities. So why I said that civilization as the macro concept and community is a microcosm of the macro concept of civilization. So those communities has some of the elements that connect each other of the individuals through some of the common elements like religion and some experience, past experience, and some ways some racial factors also. So now I am focusing on the main topic of my context, that is Kerala. So if you look at the Kerala's history, there are different kind of civilization has come there, like Judaism and Christianity before it coming to Islam. So in Kerala, where we have world's oldest Jewish community outside Palestine. Their numbers might have decreased right now, but they fled when the Babylons destroyed their first temple. And again, they fled to here when the Romans destroyed their second temple. And when they came to India and they have all freedoms, they became only Jewish diaspora anywhere in the world that never knew a single instance of discrimination. So you could still see some of the temples of Judaism in Cochin in Kerala. And if you look at the Christians came to India long before they went to Europe. When Saint Thomas of the Bible landed in the shores of Kerala, it is said he welcomed on the shore by a flute-playing Jewish girl, and he converted many to new messages, new doctrines of Christianity, which is why there are Keralites today whose families have been Christians far longer than any European families had been to Christianity. So let's look at the coming of Islam into Malabar. How does Islam came to Malabar? Malabar is the region, northern part of Kerala. So comprising these districts. So coming of Islam into India is reported first through Musris. Musris is a place, the present day Kodungalur, after Judaism and Christianity in 7th century. There have been much trade and commerce between India and Arabia even before the time of Prophet. Musris was the port through which foreigners contacted Kerala with the purpose of trade. The last king of the Empire of Malabar was one of the Cheraman Perumal, who reigned Malabar centered at Kodungalur. According to historians, there are two explanations regarding Cheraman's initiation of contact with Islam, which is completely new to him. One of the most accepted Malayali accounts substantially in accord as the following facts. Cheraman Perumal dreamed that the full moon appeared in the night of new moon in Makkah in Arabia, and that the meridian she split into two, one half remaining and the other half descending the foot of one of the hill. And the other explanation that the Cheraman Perumal was impressed by Islam after listening to Arabian traders who visited his country. So there are different kind of mythological contradiction among his initiation of contact with this new civilizational aspect. In spite of the way of initiation of his interest in Islam, it is true that he came to contact with the Arabian traders to know more about Islam. While the traders were returning after their business in Ceylon, the present day Sri Lanka, Cheraman Perumal joined them to visit Prophet. in Medina. He embraced Islam, stayed there for a long time after he performed Hajj, but he got it. So the interesting thing was when he went to Arabia with the traders in the ship, he actually has taken coconut with him. Okay. So when he went there in Arabia, when he came back, he got ill at present day Oman, a place called Salala. So when he was staying there, and he actually died there. This is the tomb of him, and you could see some of the coconut trees around there. So he actually taken coconut trees with him. So still today you could see the Oman's atmosphere. In Arabian Peninsula, you could not ever see these kind of coconut trees ever, growing in any other part of Arabian Peninsula. The interesting fact that the environment and ecology around his tomb still today was very much resembled to Kerala, including growing coconut trees and other spices which were not situated any other part of Arabian Peninsula. So actually, when he was trying to came back to Kerala after he visiting in Arabia, some of the companions actually, followed by him. Some of them are Malik bin Dinar, one of the name of the companion. He came back with him, and they reached Kerala with letters written by him in Malayalam to his chief administrators, and were treated with due respect. They also established with the whole chief administrator with due respect, and in 629 AD, the first mosque in India was constructed at Kodungalur. This is the old picture, and the other one is the modern present-day Kodungalur mosque. So you might see this one. When our Prime Minister Modi recently visited Saudi Arabia, he actually gifted this gold-plated replica of Sheraman Mosque to King of the Saudi Arabia, resembling the long years of trade relation between Saudi Arabia and India as a resemblance. Then I want to look at how does this new community has formed. The formation of Mappila. What was the reason for that? There are different contradictory explanations about that, but we can presume there are different common things like settlement of Arabs in Malabar. Like there have been lots of trade between these two regions, and there are many Arabian people has come here, and then many of them settled out there and permanently. So as a result, they have contacted with local people, and some of them actually married the local women out there. So it has called a term Arabic Kalyanam. It's called marriage alliance between Arabs and as well as local native women there. So like that, the formation of new community has begun. And the other one is the conversion of lower caste also. So I want to quote one of the interesting quote of Swami Vivekananda when he was actually visited Kerala in Malabar. He said that, was there ever a sillier thing before in world than what I saw in Malabar country? The poor pariah is not allowed to pass through the same street as the high caste man. But if he changes his name to a hodgepodge English name, it is all right. Or to Muhammadan name, it is all right. What inference would you draw except that these Malabaris are all lunatics? Their homes are so many lunatic asylums. So you could see this is one of the lower caste people. The untouchability was beyond our expectations. They could not even go out. So that kind of untouchability has persisted at that point of time. The conversion of pariah for a low caste Hindu to Mohammedanism rises his distinctly in the social scale, and he is treated with more respect by Hindus. He is no longer a link in a chain which required to be kept in a particular place. His new neutralizes all his former bad qualities. He is no longer the degraded pariah whose approach disgusted and whose touch polluted the Hindu of the caste, but belonging to now a different scale of being. Contact with him does not require the same ablution to purify it. There are different styles of purifying when a higher caste people actually came to contact with the lower caste people. That kind of social system was perceived at that point of time. So this sentence was reported in Special Commission's Graves report, paragraph 21. And let's look at some of the aspects of this Mappila community in 1921 about some of their outrage against colonial people. When the Portuguese broke with the old pattern of peaceful trade in Indian Ocean, their attacks were directed principally at Muslim merchants, who is in Kerala were concentrated around Calicut. Portuguese was the main enemy of Muslims in Malabar because they became the rebel to distract their peaceful monopoly of Muslims in mercantile trade. Armed encounters between the Portuguese Muslims continued to occur through the 18th century. One of the scholars, Zainuddin History, offers one measure of Muslim reaction to this prolonged commercial war, for he dedicated to Muslim Shaheeds who had been martyred to his struggle against the Portuguese people. So this is the photo regarding the Mappila rebellion in 1921 when they rebelled against the British people, and many of them has taken into custody, and one of the greatest, saddest moment of history happened, that is known as wagon tragedies during this point of time. Now let's look at some of the cultural aspect of this community. There are different kind of festivals like local festivals as well as universal festivals. There are different varieties and art forms. Arabic Malayalam was a new language actually formed by this community. It actually a composition of Malayalam as well as Arabic. Malayalam has written in Arabic, and there are the other art forms and different architectural styles also. So you could see this architectural style. This is a mosque, but it actually exactly like the temples out there. And you could see the pond also. So some of the other photos. This is a mosque in Calicut. Still today it is, still there. This was the architectural style at that point of time. And this is another place when one of the person called Mappilas. This is actually his tomb, and the mosque around that is cemetery. This was the oldest architectural style, and today this is another tomb of a Sufi saint or what. And this is modern style. So you could see the difference between the old architectural style and the modern time. And this is the language developed by this community, in which Malayalam has written in Arabic. And these are some of the art forms prevailing among these communities. In time of marriage they used to do this. And this is like a Sufistic kind of tradition. It's called Arbana Muttu. Some of the verses chanted when we perform in it. And this is another kind of art forms related to marriage, and this one was a kind of Sufistic one. So this is a local poetry art form. So there are different varieties of cultural art forms actually created by this new community. So I am going to conclude. Mappila community is of Kerala, having with age-old historical traditions, political struggles, martyrdoms, very variety of traditions. It is one of the community with more authentic anthropological research. Before the modernity engulfing the evidences of lots of anthropological evidence regarding how does this community has evolved over a period of time. Thank you for hearing me.